Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel, and today we are talking about Tome of Mysteries, which is a supplement for Monster of the Week, which is published by Evil Hat Games. I'll be honest with you, the three we're reviewing today that you'll be seeing over the next few weeks are all Evil Hat books. They have been knocking it out of the park. 2019 was a really good year for them. I have to say that right up front. We reviewed Monster of the Week earlier. I'm going to point you back to that episode. You can go ahead and take a look. We'll be here when you come back. But with Monster of the Week, what it is it's a Powered by the Apocalypse game where you are an investigator unto the supernatural or the unexplained or the extraterrestrial, the paranormal, etc. You have character types which come in playbooks, everything from the Wronged, which is the really tough person who survived everything, a la the Winchesters, to the Spellslinger, and you're probably playing a guy named Larry Bresman there. And you can go up to the Chosen, which is your Buffy type. All these playbooks are really interesting, and they bring a lot to the game. You can also, as the game master, the keeper of mysteries, you can allow some playbooks and not allow others if you're going for one particular motif, theme, or idea for the game itself. Now, one of the things that Monster of the Week promised you was its influences included what you would expect: Supernatural, Dresden, Buffy, even a little bit of Army of Darkness or Evil Dead in there. But it also included X-Files and Fringe, and then Kurt, this was me, I'll really admit that, Kurt threw Torchwood into that list too, because if you've been watching the show for a while, you know I loves me my Torchwood. But none of the more just plain weird or paranormal or extraterrestrial features were available in Monster of the Week. It was all very squarely in the Buffy Supernatural Dresden camp. With Tome of Mysteries, they opened that up some more. There are now more uses for weird besides spell slinging. And it also gives you some of the antagonists of the game as phenomena rather than a mustache-twirling villain or Oberon, King of the Fairies. That's a very nice touch. And that is reflected in the back of the book, which we'll get to in just a second. There are some additional playbooks that this book has that are, I think, kind of cool, actually. They include the Gumshoe, the Hex, the Pararomantic, and the Searcher. Okay, the Gumshoe, that's your private investigator. The Pararomantic is a la Vampire Diaries or True Blood, where, oh, but I love my monster. That's not really a playable class, in my opinion. Those guys are fodder. But it's a trope of the genre. Okay, then it talks about different uses for weird, like I mentioned, how to use organizations and patrons in your game or the Bureau as both as supporting of your player characters, taking it away from them, or as antagonists. And finally, the thing that I think makes this game worth the price of admission is at least the back half, if not the back 2/3, are all mysteries for you to solve. All adventures, mysteries for you to present to your players to see how they figure things out. I like this because I'm a busy guy. I don't always have time to come up with all these clever mysteries on my own. Sometimes it's nice to either have one ready to go or a framework that I can use. Now, they run the gamut. The ones that impressed me the most were a riff on if there was a sequel to The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. You heard that right. You heard that. One involving a world egg and the creation of additional worlds. Some of your standard monster critters, spider aliens or spider demons, however you want to present it, invading and turning people into their monsters, a la Driders. There's some creepy stuff in there that I think you'd have to know your players pretty well to throw out there. There's nothing inherently about it or that sets off warning alarms that would not make me want to do it. But if you play with more sensitive players, you might want to think about some of that a little bit in advance. Honestly, I think Tome of Mysteries is a must if you're going to do Monster of the Week. I think it is a fantastic supplement. I would not be surprised in the future if they do a reprint of Monster of the Week, if they just go ahead and package this in and make it one considerably larger book. I think it's well worth the price of admission for this book. I truly do. I think it is a great investment if you want to play Monster of the Week. And if you're not playing Monster of the Week, just reading through it for ideas that you can use in your own sorts of games. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.